Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Korok Seed Master Mode Challenge. Today we are making our way forward in collecting another 20 seeds, and these ones, well, they got a little bit interesting as we went through the collection of them, mainly because we're still stuck in an area that is perpetually plagued by rain. But we're not going to let that hold us back, so let's jump right into the 20 seeds. But we're not going to let that hold us back, so let's jump into the 20 seeds that we are pursuing in today's episode. If you enjoyed this series, please feel free to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content, including a very special parody video coming to you tomorrow. So seed number 401 of our overall adventure is actually going to be out here on these mountain island chains. We're going to need to jump into the ring of lily pads located on that first island. You'll probably want to use a bomb or other means to get rid of the Octoroks as you first come into that. The second seed, or seed 402, is inside of a bombable column that's on top of a pillar as you make your way north along these chains, so you'll want to make sure to blast that out of the way, collect the rock, and promptly give this guy some cover so he doesn't blow away in the wind. Seed number 403 is atop another pillar. This one you don't have to bomb out of the way, and I found the wind column particularly helpful in terms of getting up to the top of the spire where this seed is located. And that is just about the same as the last one. Lift the rock off his head, drop it back on top when you're done, and then move on to the next one, which is actually just down below this on a little wooden walkway bridge. You can see the rock hanging out right there that we'll need to lift off. And though this guy is a little bit more sheltered than some of his other counterparts, we did manage to find this one just fine, despite it being seed 404. So we'll drop this rock back down on top of his head as well, and move right along in our collection endeavors. Now this isn't a seed, but I thought that this running animation was kind of hilarious, so if you haven't seen that before, this is a treat for you. Seed number 405 is a flower chase puzzle. It's out on the last island, and this is actually the last of the seeds that we'll need to track down on this mountain pillar train. So we will go ahead and run all the way back to the mainland to pursue our pursuit into seed number 406. Now I tried to get this one in the last episode, but the problem is we haven't defeated Varuta, which means that this area is perpetually stuck in a rainstorm, which proves to be difficult when you try to do any physical labor such as climbing. So we did end up collecting this seed after jumping down off of a cliff and latching onto the tree, climbing up to the top to interact with the Korok seed there, because you can stall out and recover your stamina at the top of the trees. So that made that a lot easier than it otherwise would have been. Seed number 407, the picture reference that I had to go off of was a little misleading because I assumed it was going to be a Korok seed puzzle, and indeed there are a bunch of rocks over back behind us. But it's just this rock that you have to pick up behind the bombable wall. So I guess I kind of got trolled while I was seeking that one out, which had me a little confused, but we managed to do it just fine. Moving right along, we have seed number 408. If you ignore the Lizalfo carcass curled up in the fetal position there, we've just got to move this magnesis block from the ground to the right to the top of the puzzle here on the left. And that will reward us with yet another seed, and we can move right along to, well, another bomb column that we've seen. So a fun thing that you can do if you weren't aware is you can both drop and detonate bombs while in the hang glide portion, which I really appreciate for a lot of different things. But pulling the rock off of this guy's head, we can collect seed 409 and drop it right back down on top of his skull before progressing on to seed 410, which is a balloon inside a cavern, and I had a throwaway Lizalfo arm to use, so why not make use of it here. Seed number 411 is precariously positioned underneath this giant rock slab. I really do like using Octorok balloons to conserve weapon durability where I do have them available to me. But upon pulling the rock off of this guy's head, we do want to give him any and all cover we can. So let's not only drop the rock down, but as we retreat, you'll see that this stone slab pops down on top of his head as well, which gives him more than enough cover and shelter, making this one probably the most protected Korok of the ones that we have found. Seed number 412 is another flower maze that we need to follow, and this will lead us down to the seaside where the weather has cleared up a little bit, and for that I am very thankful. Seed number 413 is a rather high Korok basketball rock chuck puzzle type thing, and this one can be a little bit puzzling because most of the other ones we've seen like this, you need to be right up on the edge of the rock formation. This one you can actually afford to be a little bit further back. In fact, you need to in order to drain that shot and grab the seed from this particular puzzle. So that makes things kind of fun. Seed number 414 is a set of fairy lights that kind of runs in a figure eight-ish type pattern around some of these trees. So just examine the pattern, wait for it to come back around and grab him when he comes close. You really shouldn't have too many difficulties or troubles with that. And this is where things start to get a little more interesting. First off, we have a rock over out on top of an island, which is again being protected by an Octorok balloon. And we can grab this seed with relative ease before providing him some more cover from the Octorok that's nearby, taking pot shots at us. Then we have another seed that's locked behind a bombable wall, but we're progressing back into some of the area of rain at this point for, well, a very distinct purpose with one of the upcoming seeds. Seed number 417 is another flower trail puzzle that we'll need to do. This one zigs back and forth across the cavern, and the last one can be a little bit disorienting to find. It actually took me a moment or two to figure out where it was, but it's up here just off of this rock formation, and it's kind of annoying because your line of sight is blocked from the last flower that you collect before the end token is made available to you. Seed number 418 is another rock that's out on the beach. You've just got to walk this around the crescent nice and patient. But there is an Octorok that will kind of lock onto you as you try bringing it up closer to the target. I've found that for whatever reason, he can't actually hit us, but instead hits the rock every single time he tries taking a shot at us. So that's not the worst deal I've ever had. And I'm also happy that we have a certain amount of invulnerability while the animation of collecting the Korok seed is present also. Seed number 419 is heading back towards Zora's domain because that's the last seed that we'll be getting in today's episode. Was one that we couldn't quite get last time. This one involves us dropping a rock down into a Korok pattern puzzle, which is fairly simple, and then as soon as we've got the seed from here, I can't really do much to give this guy some more cover, so we just run and hope that he does okay. But the most challenging seed of today's video definitely is this seed 420, and it involves climbing up to the top of Zora's domain and collecting a seed from the very, very top of the little fishtail that's up here. And I did have to use quite a bit of stamina recoveries because of the rain that's still present, but it is doable as long as you have the resources handy. We also unfortunately triggered a cutscene to collect the Zora armor, but I will be ignoring any seeds that explicitly require that until the end so we can outline which seeds cannot be done in this length of the challenge. But that's going to do it for today's video, so thanks again for watching. Check back tomorrow for a very special video, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.